Hello guys! I have no idea if this is working. So yay. Okay, it looks like it's working now, so that's good. I'm Kat Halstead the Author, one of the hosts of a very special podcast, and for the past 5 years Patrick's been saying I need to do this. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm gonna do this silly little live stream and read my book, The Spirit Board. It is a short little fiction, and yeah, okay. I have no idea how many people are here, if anybody's actually here. I honestly don't know what I'm doing, so it's cool. I do have some wine. I am drinking the Butterfly Effect. It came in my nakedwines.com order. Not a sponsor, but yes, so that's what I'm drinking. Just opened it. It's not bad. We'll see how much I actually drink, because, I don't drink that often. My hair looks really red. It's not, but it looks red tonight. Alrighty, I'm just going to dive in, and there might be a chat. Totally don't know how that works, so we're good to go. Oh, I kind of see the chat because I have a different screen open. There's a lag between what I see and what you guys see. So, yeah. Okay. The Spirit Board by Kat Halstead. Copyright 2013. This reading copyright 2020. Ha! Okay. My name is Althea. I know it's not the most common or even attractive name. Most people thankfully just call me Allie. It's made my life a lot simpler, to be 100% honest. I'm a senior in high school, desperate to get out of this town and find myself. It's not that I'm not popular. I mean, I'll probably be on homecoming court or a princess for prom. I just won't ever get the big crown. But I'm actually okay with that. Who wants to peak in high school anyways? I live in a nice little city named Fair, which is really a big town here in Minnesota. My best friend is actually my cousin Jack. He's the same age as I am, lives just down the street 3 doors away. Most of the girls in our school, not just our class, have a crush on him. I don't get it, but he's my cousin, so I guess that's a good thing. I've just left Jack's house, where we had our Friday night family dinner, which included my Uncle Kent's new girlfriend, Lydia. It's one of many we actually have. It's a little weird. Almost the entire family sticks around town. Those who do leave usually come right back after college. I wonder what the pull is. I'm determined to get the hell out of town and never look back. It's not that I don't love my family. I do. I adore them. But at times I feel suffocated being around all of them so often. Listen, I'm not saying that Fair isn't a great place to live. I just, myself as Allie, need something more, something deeper. I can't always say what it is, because I'm not sure I really even know. But it's Friday night. I've just had one of many dinners I will have with the rest of my family this weekend. Tomorrow night I'll be at my grandmother's house, Sunday here, where my father will grill because he can, as long as the weather's nice. Actually, he'll do it in the middle of winter if he really wants to. My heart jumps when I feel my phone vibrate in my front pocket. I catch my breath for a moment as I read the text from Jack, begging me to come over to join him and some of the guys from the lacrosse team to watch movies off of Netflix. I give in for 2 very good reasons. 1, I have no desire to hang around my own house since it's Friday night, and 2, chances are very good that Paul will be at this little movie viewing party. He is the most gorgeous guy in school that I'm not related to. He's got that dark hair and light eyes that always look like they're looking deep into your soul. I rush to fix my makeup, brush out my hair before braiding it into pigtails, with a few pieces still hanging out. I wish I could do more with it, but if I give it too much attention, I might end up looking like a poodle and give up any chance of Paul noticing me. I grab my phone, my keys, not that I should need them. His house is literally 3 doors down, but it's habit to make sure I have them with me. I stop once more before leaving my bedroom, wondering if I should dress up a bit. I got pretty much what I wore to school on, a pair of skinny jeans, a Fair High School t-shirt, and The only addition would be the pink hoodie, since the night air is chilly and will be in the basement, which is never warm, even with the electric fan going. I rush down the stairs. I see my father sitting on the couch with my stepmother, Gloria. I'm off to Jack's to watch movies with him and some guys from school. Okay, don't be out too late. My father barely even looks over to me. Not that I expect him to. As long as I say I'm with Jack, he could probably care less about who else is around, what we're doing, and anything else. He knows Jack will protect me, which, fine, he probably will. At times, he's more like a brother than cousin or friend. It has its perks, that's for sure. The air is colder than I expected. I hope that Jack thought to make hot chocolate, though if he didn't, I'll be the one in the kitchen making it while avoiding Lydia. A kitchen I know almost as well as my own. I just walk into the house. Uncle Kent! I call out and I hear nothing. Weird. I expect them to be home. I mean, the rest of the family was just here. Kent went over to help his mother with something. It's Lydia, stretched out on the couch, looking far too comfortable. I'm sure she's nice in another situation, but she's trying too hard to be a mother figure to Jack, and she's really not that thrilled ever to have me around. It should never be that way with family. That's something else Jack and I have in common. Our mothers both passed away when we were young. Mine died in a car accident when I was 5. My memories are hazy at best. But Gloria's a decent stepmom. Jack's mother died a few years ago. It hit him hard when Carol passed. She took care of both of us, which is probably why Jack and I are this close. Lydia is younger, as in we think she graduated a year before we started high school. I ignore her the same way Jack does and just go straight to the basement. Jack, if you don't have hot chocolate waiting for me down there, I'm going to kill you, I tell him in that way that is sort of joking, but he knows I'm going to be disappointed that after 17 years he can't figure out that when it's a cold night, offer your cousin and friend something warm to drink. I pause on the stairs and I look around. This is not the normal setup for a Friday night movie binge. No popcorn. The cushions we use as seats are arranged in a circle and nowhere near the TV. The lights are off, including the string of lanterns that Jack and I found a few years ago and thought were just super groovy. He has candles set up, but it's not a romantic way at all. The trunk that is usually used as a coffee table is in the center of the pillow circle. The fireplace isn't even on. Jack, what's going on? Jack's not here. Well, he's here. He's in his room getting something. Paul is staring right at me. I'm about to die. Why does he have to have such amazing blue eyes? I take a step forward. I thought this was a movie night. What's going on? Allie, you made it. Jack jumps from the steps and hugs me. This is even better. Remember how I had to go out and clean Grandma's attic last weekend? I nod. It was his punishment for ignoring Lydia during family dinner, when she asked him how lacrosse was going so far this fall. Well, when I was up there, I found this whole chest of stuff, including this. He holds up a spirit board with a smile. It's October. I thought it would be a total gas to use this and see if we can contact any spirits. I don't know what to say to him, but I find something. You could have just told me instead of luring me over with the promise of a movie. I was afraid you might mention it to Uncle Kevin. He shrugs as if it's normal for him to keep information from me. I roll my eyes. Oh, please. As soon as he hears I'm hanging out with you, he tunes everything else out. You know that. Good to know. Paul smiles from where he's sitting in the circle. I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm trying not to think about when I hear the footsteps on the stairs, especially when I see who those steps have come from. My cousin, my best friend in the whole world, has invited Charlotte Queen over. The girl who has probably made everyone in school's lives miserable at one point or another with the threats of casting a spell on them. My friend Delia is convinced to this day that Charlotte turned her into a frog one afternoon for 20 minutes. Personally, I'd rather just not deal with her. She gives me the chills, and not the good kind like Paul gives me. Paul is standing behind me now, leaning in close. I can smell his Axe body spray. Why do boys think we like it? Why does it actually smell good on him? What's she doing here? I figured you would know. I breathe my reply as she and Jack greet each other in a surprisingly familiar way. Charlie, you know my cousin Allie and best bro, right? Jack is trying to make this as casual as possible. This is a nightmare. I don't know where it's going, but I know I want it over again quickly. She nods. Yeah, I know Allie. She's friends with Delia, the frog. Her voice laughs as she speaks. Without thinking, I grab Paul's arm tightly. I just want this over with. Whatever idea it is that Jack has, let's do it. Get it done with and be on our way to watching whatever movie I can click on first on Netflix when this is all done and over with. I asked Charlie to come since she's done this stuff before. She's contacted spirits with a board, and I figured she would be the best to help guide us into this journey tonight since we're all novices. He directs us to all sit down on the pillows, and I can feel the chill of the floor and the air outside rip through my body. Whatever Jack wants to do, we're gonna do it. I'm nervous. I'm scared. This can't be real. No way can we really contact the dead through a piece of cardboard he found in our grandmother's attic. It was probably something our fathers used in their treehouse as kids. It won't work. It won't tell us anything we really want to know. It won't contact anyone. Penn and Teller did a special about this, didn't they? Maybe I saw it on YouTube once? Why am I freaking out? Paul takes hold of my hand and gives it a quick squeeze to calm me down. I'm so grateful that I don't even think about freaking out about it. Okay, so how do we do this? Paul looks over at Charlie, and I can tell he's only here to humor Jack, much like I am. Well, we'll set the board up here, and we'll take the planchette, and we'll gently, lightly touch it with our fingertips, and the spirits will guide it to the letters and answers we ask. Charlie explains more confidently than I ever think I've seen her before. It's unsettling. Anything we shouldn't ask it? Paul looks across at her. Charlie smiles. Ask it whatever you want, unless you're afraid that it's real. My stomach drops. I'm ready for this to be over now. Charlie sets us up. It's obvious Paul and I are both reluctant. Or maybe I just need to believe he thinks this is a joke as much as I do. Charlie sits up straight, her eyes semi-open as she lengthens her thin, pale arms in a way that looks like she's trying to relax. Great spirits, we call upon you to connect with us. We ask that you guide us with your words. Tell us your story. Is anyone here? We all gently touch the planchette. Is anyone here? The planchette glides towards yes. Of course it does. It's not going to move towards no. Spirit, are you male or female? It searches around before settling on M. What is your name? Charlie is calm and in control. Better her than me. It glides around as though searching the letters before finally pausing on a few. D-O-N-A-V-O-N. Donovan, did you grow up here in Fair? Yes. Shocker, of course the spirit did. All four of us have. I try not to roll my eyes as it begins to move once again. L-O-C-K-E-T. What about a locket? Paul asks. Allie, you wear one all the time, Jack points out, and I mentally note to harass him later because this is getting way too obvious that he's screwing around right now, trying to freak me out. I'm sure he and Charlie set this all up days ago. O-P-E-N. I roll my eyes as I remove my hand from the planchette and open it. See, it's just a picture of me and my mother. She got it for me years ago. My father found it in the back of a drawer a few summers ago and gave it to me. What's behind the picture? Charlie insists upon asking. The back of the locket? Really, what are these fools trying to do? I rub the picture with my thumb, wondering if this might pull it from its safe spot, and when I do, another picture pops out that was hidden behind. It's a young man, probably about the same age that all of us are now. I have no clue who this guy is. I just stare at it as it sits in my hand next to the image of my mother, the one I look at least once a day. I turn the picture over, and there it is, clear as day in blue ink. Donovan. Ha ha, very funny. You planted this in here. When, Jack? The other day when you were in my room while I was in the shower after practice? I didn't do it. Jack is pale. Not ghost white, but surprised. I look over at Paul, who looks almost equally terrified, and then at Charlie, who looks pleased with herself. I bet you have more questions you want to ask him, don't you? It's a coincidence, I tell myself. It has to be. No way in the world does this board work. How did you know my mother? I ask once all of us are touching the planchette again. HIGHSCHOOLSWEETHEARTS. I feel a chill from my toes to my fingertips and through my shoulders. I think one of the candles goes out. I can smell the smoke in the air. When did you die? WITHYOURMOTHER. I look over at Jack. I don't like this answer, and I don't like this game. I don't want to do this anymore. What message do you have for us? GETOUTHEOUSEVILISINSIDE. My toes curl. I feel sick. Where is the evil? Jack asks. I can't help but wonder if he's hoping the board will say Lydia. I wouldn't blame him if he did. ALLAROUND. I'm done. I'm over this. I didn't think it was fun, and I don't like the answer the board gave me. I don't even want to think about it. What do you want us to do? Charlie asks. Can she not let this go? CALLUPONTHEREDSPIRIT. Who is the red spirit? PEACE. Before we can ask it anything else, it slides to goodbye. Whatever. I am so over this game, or whatever you want to call it. I stand up feeling Paul right next to me. This is fucked up. When did you plant this picture in my locket? I didn't. Why would you think I'd do that? I would do that. Jack remains seated, looking up at me with a look I've never seen on his face before. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know to freak me out. I am so not okay with this. The board says evil is in the house. We need to contact the red spirit. Charlie is insistent. I look at her. The board is bullshit. It's a game we're supposed to play at slumber parties and ask it who we're going to prom with, or if we'll marry Leonardo DiCaprio. Do not make fun of the board. Charlie's voice is deep, thick, like people sound in movies when they're possessed. I am not sticking around for any more of this. It's not funny, and if God forbid it is real, then I don't want to be messing with it. I start to go towards the stairs when Jack grabs me with strength I have never known he had. Please don't go. I want to do this. I need you here. I mean, come on. What's the worst thing it can say? He flashes a smile as though to tell me it'll be okay. I don't really know how to answer him, so I just give in. Fine. But if things start moving, then I'm out of here and never speaking to you again. And that is going to make for some super awkward family dinners from here on out. Fine, I understand. He leads me back to the circle where I sit back down, even less into this than I was before. Fingers on the planchette, Charlie demands, and suddenly I'm afraid to not listen to her. We reach out, and as my fingers touch the piece of molded plastic, I feel the heavy regret knot and twist in my stomach. We, with the power of 4, call upon the red spirit to help us banish the evil lurking inside the house. Charlie is in full command, and if I was watching this in a movie, I would be enchanted. This isn't a movie, though. This is real life, and we're calling upon a spirit to help banish evil when we have no clue what the fudge is going on. To be honest, I still think this is part of some sick joke that the 3 of them must be in on. Red Spirit, are you here? Yes. Can you help us, Red Spirit? No. Donovan said you could help us. H-E-L-I-E-D. Well, at least the spirit isn't all the way into believing Donovan. Not that I want to, but it makes me feel a little bit better. Is Donovan good or evil? E-V-I-L. Are you good or evil? G-O-O-D. Can you help us get rid of Donovan then? No. Why did he want us to call upon you? S-O-H-E-W-O-U-L-D B-E-F-R-E-E. How would that free him? My skin feels cold. I shiver when it feels like something is breathing on me. The planchette sits on the moon. Red Spirit, are you there? Yes. Is Donovan already free? Yes. Are we in danger? Yes. Okay, so I am not okay with these answers. I do not like where this is going. I can feel my toes wiggling nervously in my sneakers. Who freed him? A-L-T-H-E-A. Okay, bullshit. I did no such thing at all. You guys, I never freed him. I've been here with all of you this whole time. I'm going to vomit. I just know it. Jack looks over at me. His fingers and Charlie's are still on the planchette. When you took his picture out, maybe that was freeing him? Yes. How do we get rid of Donovan? Y-O-U-D-O-N-T. What are we supposed to do now? R-U-N. Goodbye. One of the candles behind Jack flames large and then goes out as he rises. There is a glow around him of blue light. It seems unreal. Another moment I would be enchanted by if it were in a movie and not happening right in front of my eyes. I am Donovan. I am the keeper of the order. A voice that I have never in all my years heard Jack use comes from inside of him. I have returned to finish the work I fought so hard to continue in my lifetime. Jack, this isn't funny. Stop this right now. I demand, my jaw clenched and tight as I speak. Althea, child, you will be no match for me. He reaches out, slaps me across the face with a force that knocks me into Paul's arms. Paul stands up and looks at my cousin. Jack, stop this. This isn't funny. Why the hell did you hit Allie? I'm not Jack, he spits out as he grabs a hold of Charlie. My servant, I have found you and the boy. You will help me. Charlie doesn't look surprised, but she does look terrified. You're real. I never thought I would witness it, but you're real. My mother was right, Master. What the hell is going on? Paul looks at Charlie, expecting an answer. The Master has returned. She looks gleeful, like a child on Christmas morning. I am so done with this. Jack, I am never speaking to you again. I run my hand through my hair and rush towards the steps. Paul is right behind me. I can feel the sting of Jack's hand on my face as we get up to the kitchen. Something isn't right. Everything is covered with burning candles. Even if the adults are home, there should never be so many candles sitting out in the kitchen. Lydia! There's no answers. I blow them out, the smoke filling my nostrils as they light up again. Paul grabs me. We've got to get the hell out of here. Whatever this game is, I don't like it, and I don't think that you like it either. Cosign. I feel his hand around mine as we go to the backyard. The night is darker than I've ever seen it in here and there, and that seemed impossible until now. The streetlights are off. The sensor-controlled floodlights my uncle and father spent just a few weekends ago upgrading aren't coming on. There are no stars, no moon, just blackness. Whatever is going on, I don't like it, Paul tells me as he walks right into the back gate. Same, I don't know what the joke Jack and Charlie came up with, but this isn't cool. I don't like that he brought my mother into this. Yeah, that was low. You would think he would know better. I expect more from him. Paul is right by my side as we walk down the back alleyway towards my house. Kat scatters past us, and I jump from the surprise of it. Paul holds me for a moment. I know everything is going to be okay. At least, for the moment. My backyard isn't right when we get in there. The garden looks overgrown and dried out. The fountain that my dad set up at his memorial to my mother isn't running. None of the lights are on in the house, not even the back porch light, which is always on if I'm not home yet. Are you having an electricity failure or something? Paul looks around. Maybe. I pull my cell phone out to use it as a flashlight, cursing myself for not thinking of it before, but instead of my regular screen, I see the face. The same one from the picture staring at me. I see Paul's eyes go wide in the white-blue glow of the screen. Is that... I nod as the phone begins to vibrate. I drop it, hearing it crash against the stone walkway. We rush towards the back door and it's locked. This isn't right. This isn't normal at all. This door is never locked. There's that kind of town where you can still go to bed and leave a door or two unlocked if you want and not worry about it. Of course, it's the one door I don't have a key for. Front door, maybe? He asks, and I nod as we start to run towards the side yard, stopping when we see him. He looks just like the picture. He's about our age, his skin haunted by a blue hue as he walks towards us. He, in a way, reminds me of pictures of a young Jared Leto from that TV show my English teacher always bitches about being canceled. He has that total early 1990s grunge thing going on. Who are you? I ask, clinging to Paul's arm. Call me Donovan. You, my dear, shouldn't run from the master of the order. I am here now. This world is mine, and I am going to show the both of you just what it means to piss off the master. I can feel Paul shaking slightly as I hold on to him. What is this? What is going on? How can the spirit, or whatever he is, be standing right in front of us? Where are the lights? Where are my parents? What the hell happened to my cousin back in that basement? You have never heard of me, I presume, until tonight, is that right? Donovan walks right towards us. My stomach twists, drops. I can feel the vomit rising in me again. Never. I put on a brave front, wanting to scream since everything around me is such an unknown. It's all right, my child. Donovan moves closer. I'm here to guide you. I am the master, and you are one of the chosen. What are you talking about? Paul's words come through clenched teeth. Donovan smiles, and for a moment I could see he was once attractive. Again, in that 90s grunge way that I don't quite understand. You are Clara's daughter. She was the original chosen one, but she betrayed me. He looks lost in a memory while I feel Paul hold me tighter. What does my mother have to do with any of this? All in due time, Althea. All in due time. He reaches out to caress my cheek when Paul stops him. Fear visible in Paul's eyes when he realizes he can touch Donovan, that whatever this is isn't just some really weird, awkward dream we both just happen to be having. Can people share dreams? You don't need to fear me, Althea, though it's a lot more fun if you do. Jonathan smirks as he reaches out for me just as lightning strikes a nearby tree. Where did it even come from? I look around, but it's still too dark to see anything at all. How in the world is any of this even possible? I don't understand any of it. I just know that I need to get away from Donovan, whatever he is. It's not anything I want to be involved with. Don't even think of running, Althea. I will find you. I've been with you this entire time. He points to the locket still around my neck. I clasp it tightly, wondering just how the hell any of this is even possible. But I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? This was my mother's. My father gave it to me. Donovan smiles. Yes, and I gave it to your mother. Homecoming, 1992. I watch as he moves around. I wish I could remember anything I ever saw in a movie or on one of those haunting shows on Travel TV or Discovery or whatever they are that would send him away. What did you know of my mother? I finally ask of him. I knew a lot, he smiles, and his teeth glow in a way as he continues to encircle us. I'll tell you when the time is right. Now isn't that time. The light is returning. But I'm always around, Althea. Lurking. Paul, the light might be bright, but the world is dark. I'm coming for you, both of you. Ask if you can trust each other, or even yourselves. What the master wants, the master will get. I hear the clap of thunder again, and everything sinks into darkness before I open my eyes and find I have a pounding headache. I'm back in Jack's basement, curled up against Paul. Everything looks normal. Jack is asleep on the couch, and Charlie is curled up on the beanbag chair, the electric fireplace glowing with the LED flames. I look around, trying to remember how this is possible. Everything was so real last night. I touched the locket around my neck, but it's gone. Panic rises inside of me as I start looking for it around me, and then I see it across the room in Jack's hand. What the hell? If I had only dreamed last night, Paul wouldn't remember, right? Or would he just be hoping that the entire thing was just a dream? I shake him. He looks adorable, sleepy, and even more so as he starts waking up. He looks around the room, about as confused as I am. How did we get back here? He asks as his eyes search the room. I have no idea. I was hoping you knew. Where's your locket? I look over towards Jack. It wasn't a nightmare, was it? Paul thought for a moment. We both ran out. It was dark. Nothing worked. We spoke to him. I know that was real. It had to be real. Then how did we get back here? Paul sighed. Whatever that was last night brought us back here. We can't tip them off that we remember. Whatever story they tell us, we have to go along with. Should I trust Paul? Why not? Because some spirit or something that makes us feel cold and uncomfortable, terrified, tells me I shouldn't. All the more reason to trust him. You're right. Besides, we have to figure out what the hell happened, and if they know we remember, they'll block us. Paul picks up a pillow and throws it at Jack. Yo, douchebag, what the hell happened last night? Jack is groggy and alert all at the same time. I didn't even know that was possible until I saw it on his face. He pulls out his phone and slides it across the floor. You made out with my cousin. I look over at Paul confused. If I kissed Paul, let's be real, I would love to remember that. I better remember that if it really happened. Paul starts clicking the icons before finding the gallery. And there we are. Video of us kissing. He looks as shocked as I feel confused. Something in this video, though, doesn't feel or look real to my eyes. I'm not sure what that is. I think I need to get home, I announced suddenly, even more desperate to get out of there than I had felt last night. I'll walk you home. Jack and Charlie don't even respond. At the bottom of the stairs, I look around the basement once more. It all looks so innocent in the morning, with the sunlight dripping in through the cellar windows. Paul is right behind me on the same path we took last night. How did they get that video of us? I finally ask once outside as we stand near my back gate. I can see the yard. It looks normal, well kept, nothing like it had the night before, though the tree in the yard next door is broke, struck by lightning, just as I remembered. Paul is staring at the tree. I have no idea. I wish I knew what to tell you. I wish I had an answer. Pulls the video up on his own phone. Something about it isn't right. I just don't know what. I mean, if you were going to kiss me, I would like to remember it, and for you to remember it, I blurt out as I look around my neighbor's yard. Something isn't right about any of this. I feel a cold wind come right through Paul and me. Paul finally looks away from the tree. I owe you a kiss, but not right now. Do you have your mother's yearbook? I have to think about it. I'm sure we have it somewhere, but I haven't really gone looking through her things in ages. Usually anything I want to know is presented to me before I ever have to ask. I think in the basement, maybe. Let's go then. Hey, shouldn't you tell your parents where you are? Good idea. He pulls out his phone and types a text. They're probably already out for the day. garage sailing. He follows me inside. The house looks normal. I don't know why I expected not to, but it does. I go over to the coffee maker and pour 2 cups of coffee. I don't ask if he wants one. I just hand him one. Perfect. He smiles and takes a sip of the hot black coffee. So we either both had the same crazy dream where lightning hit that tree, or we contacted some sort of demonic spirit with that board Jack found. And at some point we kissed long enough that Jack got a video of it, but it doesn't add up in the timeline I remember. Same. Paul leans against the counter looking around the kitchen, noticing all the cows. What's with all the cattle? Stepmom thinks they're adorable and are the perfect motif for the kitchen. He nods as he stretches, his t-shirt and hoodie riding up just enough that I can see his abs, even tighter than I suspected they were. I look away before he can catch me staring. So, the basement, I think, has all the old yearbooks and stuff. We leave our empty mugs in the sink and trek downstairs. My basement isn't finished the way that Jack's is. It's set up for storage and organized amazingly well. It would be weird to find something unexpected down here. Gloria actually did it all. She put all the holiday decorations in easy access space, a donations box, and all kinds of areas, even one specifically for my mother's things. I read a lot about step-parents over the years, and I'll give Gloria this. She's pretty respectful of my mom and her items. She would never just use a piece of her silver or just give away something that belonged to her without consulting us. Me first. Here, I bet in this box, one marked with Clara High School. If her yearbook is anywhere in the house, this would be it. The floor is dusty, cold, but we find a spot where the morning sun is coming in from a window and start to slowly go through the pages. It's like a time warp, looking at the senior class from 1993. I don't even know what it is I'm looking for, at least confirmation of something. Wait, go back. Paul points to a picture of lacrosse players, and there we see him, standing right next to my Uncle Ken. Donovan. I feel cold and weak as we see his smiling face looking back up at us, like he knows we just found this picture. This is so weird. I nod. I can't speak. I don't know what words I would even say if I opened my mouth. Paul starts flipping to the personal pictures, and the page across from my mother is Donovan, the same picture from my locket. I wish this wasn't so weird already, because this is getting even more so. Paul is chewing on his thumbnail as his leg nervously jumps. Do you feel like we're in an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark or something like that? I asked, thinking back to the old ghost story show. Something for sure. So this guy was real? That doesn't explain the rest of it, you know? Only one way to find out more. We look up Donovan Fair. Oh no, he's a fair. The realization leaves me cold. Of course he would be part of the founding family of our town. Then we should be able to find something on him, no problem at all. Paul gives me a smile, but he knows I'm as unsure about this as he is. I flip through a few more pages of the yearbook before coming to a page at the back. It's a love letter from Donovan to my mother. Clara, I know you say you love Kevin, but you have my heart. The Master believes you are the one meant for me. I'm not giving up on you. Don't give up on me. We belong together, Clara. I knew that from the first time I saw you in kindergarten, with your red hair and braids and that cute little brown dress that you wore. I knew it the first day of middle school with your Guess jeans and white t-shirt. I knew it the first day of high school with your feathered hair. And the night of homecoming when I gave you the locket. You and I are meant to be. Why can't you see it? Why are you willing to give it all up? You know the powers are coming. You know what sort of power we could have together. You and me. I love you, Clara, and you'll know it. I'm with you. I am a part of you. As long as you wear my locket, I am with you. I will be with you through everything, even if I'm hidden behind a pile of sweaters in the back of a drawer. I'm yours, and you are mine. You are my everything, Clara. Listen to the Master. Donovan. What is this master he keeps talking about? I rub my face as I try to think. I have no idea, but this keeps getting ultra creepy. I keep the yearbook with me as Paul and I go upstairs. The kitchen looks brighter now that the sun is higher. The world appears far more normal than it was earlier. I'm still unsettled, at the very least by not knowing what was real and what wasn't. Morning, and who is this? My father has come into the kitchen, and it looks like he's just getting up. Weird, he doesn't usually sleep in. What time is it anyway? Paul Darby, I go to school with Allie and Jack. We were working on a project for homecoming. We were going through old yearbooks for ideas. His cover is perfection. And if I wasn't already crushing on Paul, I would be right now. My father nods. What yearbook is that? 92, 93? We had a great homecoming theme that year. Got lucky everything fell the week of Halloween. I noticed that was a lie. I hadn't really paid that much attention, but our homecoming was going to be the same week this year as well. I watch my father as he pours a cup of coffee and sits at the table. Dad, who was Donovan Fair? My father stops mid-sip and looks at me, as though he's trying to find a way to answer it properly without giving away too many details. He was this guy that had a crush on your mother. He never really got her attention, though. Why? I open the yearbook in the back page and show him the letter. This is Mom's yearbook. I didn't know where yours was. Grandma's house, he says as he looks at the letter that had earlier left me confused. That explains why the locket was hidden. He smiles and pushes the book away. He's no one you need to worry about. He died years ago. How? I wonder what my father is holding back. It's something, and I have a feeling I'm not going to find out right now. I'm going to have to investigate on my own. That's not really what I wanted to do. Car accident. Donovan wasn't someone who followed the rules. He wasn't well mentally. He dabbled in the occult, believed that he was some sort of sorcerer or something. In fact, I think he believed that your mother, our dear Clara, was meant to be his queen. Your mother couldn't stand him. He made her uneasy, but he followed her around like a puppy dog. I glance over at Paul, who looks entranced in the story. Oh, okay. I just saw the love letter and was curious who it was. No worries, kiddo. He sips his coffee. What are you kids doing up so early, and when did you get back last night? I got home late, but Paul and I decided to meet up to get this stuff started. I think I'm going to go grab that box of old Halloween decorations from downstairs so that we can get some ideas of what to do. I kiss my father quickly on the cheek and go towards the basement, looking behind to see that Paul is right behind me. The stairs seem to bounce as we fly down them. I put the yearbook back. I have the answers I wanted, that I need for now at least. I pull out a box of Halloween decorations and then rush over to my mother's box, going through all the items until I stop on what I had only passed by once before. A diary. I toss it in the Halloween box and push the box into Paul's arm. We'll take this up to my room and see what we can find. Okay. Paul giggles a little as I realize I must be overseeing my room. Shit. Have I left any clothes around? No. I cleaned up yesterday afternoon. Didn't I? We'll be up in my room working. Don't worry, Dad. We're just friends, I call out, but I don't think my father even noticed. He seems lost in thought as Paul and I go up the stairs to my room. Paul stands in the doorway, looking at everything, with a curious stare. My walls are pretty much covered in posters. I couldn't even tell you what color the walls are, since it's been so long since I last saw them. Not what I was expecting, he tells me as he drops the box on the bed and kicks the door closed. I have the feeling the diary is what you really wanted. That and this. I open the top of my laptop, bouncing on my toes as it wakes up. My dad was holding back. Donovan died in a car accident, and so did my mother. I'm betting that the two are connected. I'll take the laptop and you take the diary, Paul suggests. Thanks. We settle on the floor next to each other to start our research. The first few pages of the diary seem average. Just what one would expect to find. It's a lot like my own, except one is hidden on my laptop. Nothing earth-shattering. September 28th, 1992. I saw Kevin today. He makes my toes curl. I wish he would notice me. If only I could cast a spell that he would look my way. October 5th, 1992. Had to sit next to Kevin in lab today. He didn't notice me. What I wouldn't give to make that happen. These don't make sense to me. My mother and my father had been high school sweethearts on all accounts I knew of. My mother looked like an all-American teen princess this year. How did he not notice her? October 10th, 1992. Donovan told me he knows of a way I can get Kevin's attention. I don't know if I'm really comfortable with it or not. He says it's a spell. Just what I've been wishing for. But magic isn't real, right? No way in the world could I have a spell that would make Kevin look at me. October 12th, 1992. It worked! The spell worked! Late last night, Donovan and I went over to the lake. He lit a fire, did a chant, and threw in a piece of fabric he says he got from Kevin. He must have, because today, Kevin asked me out. October 20th, 1992. Donovan isn't happy with the attention I'm getting from Kevin. He keeps telling me that the master is upset. I don't know what that means. I'm seriously freaking out. Donovan wants me to join him in doing spells. He said he wants us to do a seance, and if it works, we'll contact the master. October 31st, 1992. Donovan followed Kevin and me to the dance this evening. Kevin told him to go away, to leave me alone, but Donovan didn't listen and punched him. It was a total disaster. Before Donovan ran off, he threw a box at me. He said he'd always be with me as long as I had this. I opened it when I got home, not wanting to make Kevin upset, but curious what it was. It was a locket with a picture of myself in it. I didn't understand what he meant, and I didn't want to think about it, so I stuffed it in the back of a drawer. I didn't want to think about it ever again, and I don't want to think about it now. He was obsessed with her. I speak out loud, after I don't even know how long since I last spoke. Paul looks up from the laptop. He was a handful. Just a quick Google search, and I came up with a lot of hits on him. He got brought in for questioning a few times on some murder case. Nothing ever stuck, but his parents got him out of it, I guess. Not surprising, considering they own half the town. I lean in closer to read the postings. It's all there, saved forever on the internet. But then I see it. The headline, I think even Paul didn't want me to see. Click that one. I don't think you want to read it. He looked protective of me. No, click it. Don't try to shelter me. This isn't the time. He clicks the link and then slides the laptop closer to me. I'm covering my mouth with my hand as I read the headline. My blood, my whole body feels cold. Why didn't I know this? Why was this something that was never brought up? It wasn't a car accident that killed my mother. It was Donovan, killing her and himself when he drove into her. He killed her. But why? Paul had picked up the diary. Well, he was obviously obsessed, even though she married your father. Had you, it didn't seem to stop it, did it? I closed the laptop. I didn't want to look up anymore. I just wanted to know if the diary had any more clues, any idea of what I was supposed to do. Look at this. Paul handed it to me, a passage from much later in the school year. April 20th, 1993. Donovan gave me a spirit board for my birthday. I told him I couldn't accept it, that he should take it back and the locket. He refused. Kevin took it and hid it in his mother's attic. We'll never have to worry about it again. Maybe we should just burn it or something. I don't know. The whole thing made me uncomfortable. May 21st, 1993. We got our yearbooks today. Donovan got a hold of mine during study hall and left a long note that, if I could have ripped out, I would have, but people I want to remember had written something on the other side. May 23rd, 1993. Kevin and I made love for the first time last night. We were on the beach with a small fire, the stars twinkling in the sky. It was magical, though one moment was weird. We were wrapped in each other's arms, listening to the sounds of nature, when everything seemed to go the darkest black I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know if I could if I wanted to. May 28th, 1993. Donovan showed up at Kevin's house today. Things were awkward. He said he put a curse on us, that the master would make sure that we were all miserable. Kent, Kevin's younger brother, chased him off the front lawn with a baseball bat. All the neighbors were gossiping about how he's not right in the head, but he gets away with all of this stuff because he's a fair, and of course how unfair that really is. June 4th, 1993. We did it. We graduated. I feel like the whole weight of the world has been lifted off my shoulders. After the ceremony, Kevin drove me over to the fair estate, and we left the locket in the mailbox for Donovan. It was the only way we could think of to give it back to him. I'm glad it's gone. I'm glad the board is hidden up in Kevin's attic. I don't want to have to think about Donovan ever again. June 9th, 1993. The greatest thing ever happened today. Kevin and I both got our college acceptance letters. We'll be leaving town in a few weeks to go to school in Wisconsin. We'll be living in the same building, so we'll get to see each other as often as possible between classes and studying. Everything seems to be going well. I did read that Donovan got arrested the other night after he set a large bonfire on the beach when he was all alone. He freaks me out, but I hope that he can get the help he needs. August 20th, 1993. Kevin and I leave tomorrow. We have this exciting new world ahead of us. I can't believe it, Diary. It will be so nice to make new friends. Hopefully, none of them are into the occult like Donovan was. He was always like that. At one point, he was nice. He was very much a good friend, but something changed once he started reading up on spirits and spells. If I find anyone like that at college, I'm avoiding them. I just don't want that in my life. And I don't want that anywhere near Kevin. That was the last entry in the diary. I look over at Paul. We both had the same questions. How did she get the locket back? And if your father knew what it was, why would he give it to you? I let Paul's question hang in the air while I thought about it. I don't think he thought it was the same locket. He was there when she left it for him, but how did she get it back? I sighed as Paul put his arm around me, pulling me in close. I was tired. I wish I had answers. But they just weren't coming the way I needed them to. The questions I had just didn't have obvious, logical answers. I thought I had closed my eyes for just a second when I heard the screech of tires. I opened my eyes to find myself standing in the rain, Paul at my side watching a scene that looked more like a memory than anything else in front of me. Confusion fills me as I look at the scene in front of me. I don't understand what I'm seeing. I'm not sure I'm supposed to. Then I realize what it is. It's my mother's car. It looks shiny, new. That doesn't make sense to me at all. Not that much has since last night. Paul reaches out and points me toward an area a little way from the car. It's Donovan, staring at the car. He's walking towards the car, the locket hanging from his hand as he moves forward. The back door is open as he slips in, dropping the locket in the seat. What the hell? Take a step closer and stop when it looks like he's looking straight at Paul and I. Everything stops for a moment. Did he just look at us? I think he did. I move in closer to Paul, his hands protective of me. I have no clue what is happening, but I can't last long, can it? I'm afraid to find out. That was when I saw my mother getting into the car. She looks just how I remember, young, full of life, her hair pulled away from her face. She never meant for me to have the locket. He planted it like he knew where it would end up. I want to cry out, but I can't. The words won't escape from my lips as I watch her start the car and pull out into the street. It's then that it all happens. The other car, driven by Donovan, coming out of nowhere and killing my mother and him. It was a beautiful moment. His voice sends chill down my body. No, it wasn't. The sobs are caught in my throat as it replays over and over again in front of me. I was wrong. That was my fault. Donovan moves closer to me. I thought that she was the one who was meant to rule the darkness with me, to be my queen. Who was? Paul's grip is tight, as though he's afraid of what's about to be said. Allie, of course. He laughs, and it's wicked. This can't be real, can it? I am not your queen. You're dead. None of this is real, I snap back at him. I feel the wind whip around me, tossing my body into Paul's, spinning. Blackness once again. Allie, are you okay? Paul is over me, and he looks terrified. I take a deep breath. What just happened? You know what just happened, are you okay? We kissed and I don't recall it. I try to joke. Haha. I wish. He hugs me tightly. We've got to figure out what to do, because for whatever reason, you and I are in this together, and no way in hell am I going to allow him to make you his evil queen. Shucks, thanks. I sit up, leaning against the bed. Okay, what do we know so far? Let's see. Jack found the board in your grandmother's attic last weekend, right? Which is where your parents hid it after Donovan gave it to your mother. If magic was an option, which I think we have to believe it is at this point, then he did something to the board so that it would call his spirit. It's like he knew it would happen. I rub my forehead. It's like he planned it all out. The spell. The one he did so your father would notice your mother. What if it was exactly what he wanted? I shiver at the thought of it all. You don't think you can Google how to break a spell, do you? Only one way to find out. I move to sit on the bed, part of me aching to fall asleep, the other part afraid that what I will encounter if I do. Wow. Paul sits at the foot of the bed, staring at the screen. What? I lean over, trying to read the screen. Lots of different ways. I don't know how we're going to figure out which spell we're supposed to use. He scrunches his face up with confusion. I rest my head against his. We have to go back to the beginning. What if all he did was hogwash that night, and your father just happened to notice your mother the next day? He turns to me, and I can feel the butterflies in the pit of my stomach. Maybe he just gathered the courage to ask her out. I pull away, suddenly aware I haven't brushed my teeth yet. Yeah, maybe she made him nervous and he just hadn't gotten the courage to ask her out yet. He looked back at the screen. So, Clara has a crush on Kevin. Donovan wants some sort of hold over her, tells her that he can get Kevin to notice her. He must have known Kevin had a crush on her. Paul pushed the laptop away from him. He gives her the locket, knowing that his picture is in it, but she won't wear it. I jump off the bed, pacing across the floor I've spent almost all my life on. He gave her the spirit board, knowing she wouldn't touch it. He wanted someone to find it all eventually. How do Jack and Charlie fit in? Jack found the board. Charlie is into this occult stuff. Wait, isn't Charlie's mother a fair? I had to think about it for a moment. Yes, she is. A cousin, though, not one of the bigwigs. It's a connection. He yawned. So Donovan sets all this up in, 1992, just to get you in 2013? I looked down at my phone. I hadn't thought about it in hours. I'm surprised to see how many texts I have. Holy cow. What? Paul sounds concerned. I look to see who they're from. Jack has texted me like 100 times. This is not normal. He takes the phone from me. I watch as he scrolls through them, as if trying to figure out what's going on. He wants you to go back and get the locket. I curl my legs closer to me. I'm not going back near that house right now. If he wants to return the locket, he can bring it to me. Paul types the text for me and sends it, tossing the phone back to me, where I see the dying battery and plug it in as the ringtone goes off. You're gonna hear me roar. I flush with embarrassment. Paul smiles. Don't worry, I like that song. I accept the call. Hello? Hallie, I've got your locket. Come on over and get it. Jack's voice sounds dry. I can't leave right now. I have company. You can bring it over here. I'm in no hurry to get it back after last night. I confess to him, wondering if perhaps that will lead to some sort of explanation. I need more wine, guys. I need more wine. Alrighty. You can leave, and you will. The master needs you back here. I grab Paul's hand, and we both stare at the phone. She's not going back there, Jack. If you want to return the locket, you have to come meet us in her backyard in 30 minutes. This is not what the master intended. My body feels hot and a surge of energy. I don't give a shit what the master wants. I'm not going to be part of this. You already are. Jack hangs up, and I felt myself collapse against Paul. What are we going to do? I feel Paul's arm wrap around me, holding me tightly. We have to fight magic with magic. We've got to find a spell that will get rid of him, whatever it is. I pull away and pull the laptop closer. Reading the first page, I can find on spells to get rid of evil spirits. I find lists of different types, but I have no clue what Donovan is. Finally, I see one at the bottom of the page that looks like it might just work. We can do this one. I have the stuff here in the house. We just have to hurry. I copy and paste the spell. It says that I need to recite and email it to myself. I grab my phone from the charger and we quickly run down the stairs. You two are still here? My dad asks, as if he suddenly realizes that I've been alone in my room for hours with a boy that isn't my cousin. Yes, we're still working on that homecoming project. I just need to get something from the basement. I look over at Paul. Grab the salt. He grabs the shaker, and I can tell he's not sure about this. I'm not sure about it either. But as I look for the Christmas box, the only one I know that has red candles somewhere in it. I don't know if this will work. I have no reason to believe any of this is even real. It feels real right now. I feel the panic and fear surging through my body, pushing away my desire to hide in my bed and sleep for 100 years, or at least until this nightmare is over. Are you sure about this? Paul asks as we go back up the stairs, passing my father who has taken out the larger salt container as he searches for the salt shaker. Yes, I am. I grab the large salt as we go into the backyard. I look around, wondering where the best spot for this is. I see the recently cleaned off patio slab and figure it's a good place as any. Go grab the lighter by the grill. Paul does as he's told. I'm thankful that he's not questioning me about this when he probably is as confused as I am about the entire situation. I start pouring the salt into the circle around me. Get in here, Paul. He does before I close the circle and repeat going around 2 more times. We start to light the candles, and as the flames grow, on the last one we see them. Jack and Donovan both watch us. Allie, stop being silly. Don't do this, Jack begs. I have to. You aren't even Jack right now. I'm not going to let that tear us all apart. I grab Paul's hand and pull up the email with a spell. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, evil spirit must combust. Dance in the wind, float away, lose yourself with a brand new day. Paul squeezes my hand and we start again. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, evil spirit must combust. Dance the wind, float away, lose yourself with a brand new day. Stop, Donovan cries as he crumples to the ground. Jack has fallen over, and I believe this is working. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, evil spirit must combust. Dance in the wind, float away, lose yourself with a brand new day. Paul and I have gotten louder, more confident in our actions. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, evil spirit must combust. Dance in the wind, float away, lose yourself with a brand new day. Light fills the yard, bright and white. Even brighter is the glow over Donovan, growing bright as Paul and I continue to chant, our hands squeezing each other's tightly as we finish for the 5th time. We fall over as the light explodes all around us. Jack is in a ball on the ground. He looks frail, lost. I look around for any sign of Donovan, but I don't see it. I step out of the circle, nervous about what I'll find as the world fades back to its normal brightness. Jack? He doesn't answer. I place my hand on his shoulder to shake him. His eyes fly open. They look black, empty. I jump back. Jack? He starts to convulse in a seizure, and I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. I try to hold him down. Jack, come back to me. I'm crying. Emotions have bubbled over the last however many damn hours this has been. My tears are uncontrollable as they fall, landing on the body of my cousin one by one. Jack's body arches up and a stream of light comes down. Darkness is released from his body, and his eyes begin to clear up. I wipe my eyes as I stare at the scene in front of me. Allie, what's going on? He asks as he lays seemingly broken on the grass, the same grass we used to play freeze tag on. We have to destroy that board that you found. I realize it's the only way to really end this. What board? That silly spirit board? He doesn't appear to remember anything about it. There was nothing silly about it. Paul has left the circle. He's behind me now, his hand on my shoulder. It was possessed by a demon, who also took control of you from the looks of it. Haha, very funny, guys. Jack isn't buying it, but tries to sit up. What just happened? Demon possession. That's what, we remind him. Paul takes his cell, starts trying to find the information we need. If we can destroy that board, and anything else that can have housed Donovan, maybe then this will all be over. We can move past it. I can maybe forgive my cousin, and maybe the darkness won't swallow Paul and I up again. Where's the board, Jack? Paul demands. I don't know, probably my basement where we last used it. Is Charlie still at your house? I don't know. Why would she be? I say. We have got to get that board and destroy it. The locket as well. It's only semi-painful to know the locket needs to be destroyed. Knowing where it really comes from mars any and all closeness I felt to my mother while wearing it. We have to cut it into 7 pieces. I look up from the phone as I walk to the gate. I can see the boys hanging back. Come on, we don't have time to spare. He can't get up, Paul tells me of Jack. I rush back and help Paul pull him up. Jack, listen to me. If you want to feel better, then you have to come with us. Now buck the hell up and move. Damn. When did she get so bossy? Jack tries to stand up. I think when a demon decided she was to be his queen, Paul told him as we dragged Jack with us. The alley was empty as we moved the 3 houses down. When we got to Jack's backyard, I realized I couldn't keep dragging him with me. Okay, Jack, where is the locket? He reached in his pocket and pulled it out from the kangaroo pocket of his hoodie and placed it in his hand. I hold it, feeling its weight for the first time ever, now that I knew what it really was. How was I going to cut this into 7 pieces? You two stay here. I'm going to get the board and cut it and cut the locket. Are you sure that's a good idea? We can't just throw the board away? Jack asks as if he was trying to hold on to it. No, we can't just throw it away. We have to cut it and bury it in different places. Same with the locket. I gave him a quick hug before dashing into the house. I didn't see anyone else as I stepped into the kitchen for a pair of scissors, but I could feel the heavy cloud of evil that had been released the night before. I slowly go down the stairs. No one else is around that I can see. I grip the scissors in my hand and I step towards the board, the planchette sitting on goodbye. I remove it and put it back in the box as I pick up the board. Our Father, who art in heaven, I begin as I sat to cut through the thick cardboard, repeating the prayer over and over again as I create the 7 pieces, tossing each of them into the box so we can dispose of them. I hold up the locket, hallowed by thy name, as I break it in half, and then snip the chain until I have 7 pieces. I drop them with the board, gathering it all up as I make my way up the stairs. Lydia is waiting, and she doesn't look happy. I try to move past her. Where are you going with Jack's board? We're taking it away from the house. I tell her as I feel chill wrap around me. You can't do that. She gets in front of me. I can. I am, and I will. Now back off, bitch. I push past her, and she grabs my arm. Who do you think you are, Allie? I feel my body stiffen. Kent's niece, Jack's cousin and best friend, you need to let me go because I've had a shitty fucking time since this board came into my life, and I want to get rid of it so that one gray cloud is out of my life, even if we're stuck with you. Lydia drops her hand from my arm, and I walk away. I'm sure I'll be in trouble later, but right now, I just don't care. Jack and Paul are still waiting for me. Okay, we have to find 7 places to bury these pieces that are far away from each other. Oh, and FYI, I told Lydia off. Well, you really did get gutsy. Jack pushes himself up as it looks like his strength is starting to come back. Tell me about it once we get rid of all this. I hold the box up, ready for it to be over with. The fair estate. We should bury a piece there, Paul suggests, and I agree. Let's go. Jack, give me your car keys. He digs into his pocket and pulls out the keys to his Honda. We get in the car. Paul balances the board on his lap as we drive across town. The fair estate is locked up tight, and we park in front of the gate. For a moment, I think about buzzing to see if Charlie is around, but I decided against it. Okay, we need to dig a hole deep enough that this won't come up in the rain. With what? We don't have shovels, Paul points out as I start to dig through the trunk, finding a garden trowel from our afternoons helping at the community garden. We've got this. I find a spot near the wall and start digging, pulling the dirt away, going deep enough that I feel safe. Paul hands me a piece of the board and I start to cover it, tossing and packing the dirt tightly before I move to another part of the brick wall and start digging for the locket. We continue driving around town to different places that we can think of and burying a piece of the board and then somewhere else burying a piece of the necklace. We're left with just the planchette in the box. Paul opens the box and puts the planchette in it before closing it again and stomping on it. I hear the crack of plastic shatter. Jack lifts it from the ground, keeping it closed as he walks towards the trash can, tossing it in and backing away slowly. I half expect to see it catch fire or something, but nothing happens. When we get home, I look around Jack's house. Everything looks so normal and peaceful. No sign of Lydia or Uncle Kent. I'm not sure if I should be worried or not. I'm too exhausted to care. Let me walk you home. Paul is right behind me as I start to leave. Sure, if you want. I wait for him, and then we start walking back to my house. Think you'll sleep tonight? Probably, but not well. What about you? I shrug. Considering I don't think we really have slept, the minute my head hits the pillow, I'm gonna be out. Yeah. Out of all the unanswered questions we still have, there's only one I want an answer to, Paul confessed as we stood by the front gate of my house. Yeah, what's that? Who was that on the video? I sighed and looked around the cluster of leaves the fall breeze had created. Well, I don't think it was us. It's probably part of all this magic that I don't want to ever have to deal with again. It's a shame that it wasn't us, Paul kicked the sidewalk. I couldn't hold back a smile. Are you saying, Paul, that you want to kiss me? Well, we could try it, see how we like it, or don't. Good idea. I look up waiting to see if I'm going to have to actually do this, and before I can, his lips are on mine, toes curling, body filled with excitement, and I'm weaker in the knees than I ever expected possible. As we pull apart, I see the porch light come on. I better get inside. Yeah, I should get home. I'll text you later if I don't fall asleep. Okay, sounds good. I smile at him as I back up to the front steps before turning to face my father. Hey, Dad. Why is there a circle of salt on the back patio? He asks as I walk past him. Oh, I used that for protection when I was trying to vanquish the demon evil spirit that got summoned by using the spirit board Jack found in Grandma's attic. I'm sorry, what did you just say? It's not important. I'm just going to go up and take a shower. I'm exhausted. What about that incident between you and Lydia earlier this afternoon? He asks as I'm halfway up the stairs. I turn around. She grabbed me, wouldn't let go until I told her off. Listen, I'm not going to magically like her, and neither is Jack. Especially when she treats us both like she can tell us what to do. If I have to apologize to her, I will, but I won't mean it. My father didn't say anything and just waved me away. I was grateful for that, especially when I got to my room. I woke up the laptop and closed all the tabs on my browser about spirit boards, magic spells, and anything else like that. I deleted my history from today and then closed it, needing it to be something gone, done, and over. The only thing I wanted to remember from today was Paul's lips on mine. After my shower, I put on my PJs, crawled into my bed. My room was dark, too dark. I reach over and turn on the nightlight just to ease my mind before drifting off to sleep. And that was the spirit board. Okay, I hope Patrick is happy now. I finally did a live reading, and I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Follow the podcast, listen to our episodes here on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter at Very Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at CatDVS. You can find us at averyspecialpodcast.com, saltyrockmedia.com, kathalstead.net. If you're interested in any of my other books, you can find them on Amazon, Smashwords, all that good stuff. And I hope you guys all have an amazing evening. Bye!